And welcome out to Tecumseh High School. I'm Bryant alongside the coach, Casey Matteson, and we are here for a new 2-on-1 video interview series we're doing this fall on the Top Billing Sports Network. And we're joined with Tecumseh head coach Kent Massie here in our first show. Coach Massie, thanks for being our first guest.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys are coming off what was a very good season, 8-2 regular season, made it out to the playoffs. We went over and did your game on the radio against Dresden Tri-Valley. We were 5-0 in the CBC Kenton Trail division. Quite an accomplishment there in a stacked division. What's it been like building off of last season for the guys you have coming back?
Well, obviously last season's last season, so it's a new chapter in our books, and we need to find new leaders, and we lost a lot of starters, so we need to find some guys to fill those roles, and some guys on special teams and offense and defense. So we got some guys that are stepping up, so the competition's pretty heavy in the off season. However, our tradition here at Tecumseh High School, with being able to make the playoffs 5 years in a row, is pretty strong. And our seniors understand that, our players understand that, our community understands that. So the work ethic has certainly been there, and we're starting to understand and have some leaders emerge amongst the pack. So we're getting there to work on it. Obviously, we want to defend the Central Buckeye Conference Kenton Trail Division crown, and we want to make it back to the playoffs again. So again, no one's going to give us anything, especially in the league that we play in. So we're going to have to work hard and earn everything we get.
Staying on the leadership category, talk a little bit about how your seniors are this year and what they're going to bring to the table.
Well, we have 12 seniors and 10 returning seniors, so we have 2 new ones. So again, it's not a lot of kids, but the kids that we have are quality kids, and they've been in the program for 4 years, so they know what it takes. So we're starting to have kids step up and be leaders, and that's what we're going to need to make sure that we're successful. Because a lot of times it depends upon how your team gels and comes together as a unit, okay, to determine whether you're going to be successful or not. And we have to make sure we have that camaraderie and our kids come together.
You've got 3 big name position players, Cameron Moore, Christian Evans, and Malik Quisenberry coming back. Anybody else that add to the mix?
Oh, absolutely. We got a lot of kids coming back, and in terms of quality kids, when you look at the seniors that we have coming back, we have Jake Iyer, who plays a lot of different positions for us and does a great job. We have Jeffrey Held, who's our kicker. He's coming back as well, and he should be on track to break the school record for PATs this year. Does a great job kicking off and with a field goal unit as well. Justin Pennington, who was injured most of last year, comes back. He started at inside linebacker for us as a sophomore, so we got him back as well. And again, a bunch of quality kids, and we're going to have some kids fighting for some spots too.
Talk about Christian Evans coming back. He's a guy that rushed for over 1,000 yards last season. You gotta love having him come back to lead the rushing game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was the player of the year, offensive player of the year in our league, and we have him coming back. And you talk about some other kids leading the way. We have Jake Nicewater, who's an offensive lineman, who's probably our only offensive lineman starter coming back. So he's going to have to step up in a leadership role, and obviously be a guy who we're going to count on to not come off the field for us too. And you talked about some other guys. Going back to your question, we have Kyle Van Dyne, who will be a senior this year. We expect him to start on both sides of the ball on both lines as well. And he's a kid that we're counting on as well. And Kyle Ott, another senior lineman. So we need those kids to step up and perform for us. As far as going back to your question with Christian Evans, Christian has gotten faster, bigger, and stronger than he was a year ago. And that's pretty impressive, being the player of the year in the league, coming back, and he's that much, has that much more desire to compete and become better. And he has worked extremely hard. He continues to work extremely hard to make himself be the best football player that he can be.
You guys have a little quarterback battle going on now for who's going to take that starting job between Malik Quisenberry and Dakota Britt right now. What have those guys done so far through 7-on-7s and preseason camps going on to work to get that starting position?
Well, they both worked hard, and they're both trying to understand and learn the game the best that they can. And they're great kids. Both are very intelligent kids. Both are very skilled athletes. both of them I expect both of them to play in our secondary as well. And whoever wins the quarterback battle, the other one should play someplace else on the offense, probably have a split-end position.
That's a good thing having those two guys. They're athletes besides the fact they can play quarterback. They can go in and play at a lot of different positions too.
Absolutely. And you talk about getting your best 11 guys on the field, and that's my job, to try to get the best 11 players on the field. So if it's your backup quarterback, he's one of the best 11, we got to find a spot for him to play.
How's the defense shaping up for you this year so far?
It's shaping up well. We've got Coach Tuffy Thompson, who is a veteran on the staff, and he's the defensive coordinator, along with Coach Dan Delapina, the co-defensive coordinator. And those guys are doing a great job getting the defense ready. We're a little green in some spots, of course, but they're coming together, and the kids are working hard. And once the kids adjust to the speed of the game, we're going to be okay.
Your non-league schedule is stacked as it always has been. First, you got what's been a rival for a long time, Fairborn, open up the year. You got another GWAC team in Butler. Then you also have Cincinnati Northwest, who's been a very good team as well in non-conference play. How do you feel that schedule's prepared you guys for league play in the last couple seasons?
Well, again, we play in one of the best conferences in the Miami Valley, so we need to make sure that we get prepared for our conference play, and that's the most important thing. And I think Fairborn, they always have Division I type of athletes and players, so that's some quality speed or size or both that we're going to see week 1. And Butler, same thing. They have Division I type of guys on their roster too, so that helps us as well. And that's a quality program, quality team there, Vandalia Butler. And Cincinnati Northwest is a bunch of athletes. And we saw that last year, first year playing them. They finished 8-2 last year and had a great year. And so we're excited about playing them in our place this year.
And then the next game after that, you have a crossover game with Urbana, I believe. And they're usually the best team in their division as well.
Yes, they are. They are the best team in their division. They have the best quarterback in the area, in my opinion, and Mays. So they're going to bring a lot of challenges for us too.
Looking at your league this year, you got a guy, Charlie Brumbacher's been at Tippecanoe for a long time. He's got a great group there. Good friend of yours down at Shawnee, and Coach Meeks has another good group coming up. What do you think of those two schools? What do you think of what teams like Bell Fountain and Stebbins are doing with some good athletes that they have?
Well, I'll tell you this. Tip City simply has the best talent coming back this year. They were junior loaded last year, had a great squad, took us to overtime. And Charlie Brumbacher does a great job coaching those kids. He's been around for a long time. So they are the team to beat, in my opinion, in our league. And then you look at Springfield Shawnee, obviously 2 years ago in the state final game. They have a great coaching staff over there. They got great kids. Again, they're going to be competitive for our league. And you look at a team like Bell Fountain, who was a young team last year. And not only were they a young team last year, but they were a young team that had injuries last year. So they have all their kids coming back. They have a lot of good athletes coming back. Their head football coach knows how to win. He just came in from West Liberty where he took them to the playoffs, as well as one of their assistant coaches now just coming back is Jason Brown, who knows how to win because he led Bell Fountain to the playoffs a couple different times over the course of, I think, probably 4 or 5 years ago. So he's going to be an assistant coach on that staff. So he knows that guy is a proven winner. He knows how to win. And you combine that with a lot of that young talent that Bell Fountain has, and they have a lot of numbers for kids coming out. They're gonna do okay this year.
Stebbins had quite a couple athletes last year. The running back was outstanding, and so they're going to be performing really well for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Stebbins is going to be a very, very much improved, and the Brumfield kid has gotten offers, Division I offers, and I believe he's headed to Ohio University on a football scholarship. They've got their quarterback is very talented as well, and he's been in that starting role for a couple of years. And they do have a strong defense coming back as well. So Stebbins is going to be a much improved squad, as well as Kenton Ridge.
Coach, it's been fun talking with you out here on a rainy day at Tecumseh. It is the first day of full pads of practice here today. Coach has a couple scrimmages coming up. The Arrows travel to Piqua here on Tuesday, August the 13th. And I forget, who do you got coming up Saturday, too?
Saturday will be at Bellbrook High School at 10 a.m.
And then Carroll is your Jamboree game right here at Spitzer Stadium.
The following Friday at 7 p.m. at home against Dayton Carroll.
All right, sounds good, Coach. Best of luck this year. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you down the road.
Thanks for having us. It's always a pleasure to have the Arrows be a part of this show. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is Bryant Billing and Casey Matteson here with Tecumseh head coach Kent Massie. Watch for more 2-on-1 interviews this fall right here on the Top Billing Sports Network.